Rob Stone, Casey Jacobson, Donnie Marshall, welcoming you to the floor of the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, as we get set for quarterfinal Thursday here from MSG. 4 games coming your way, and we start at noon with number 1 seed Marquette.
Have fun, guys. Have a great call. We'll be watching. All right, Kyrie had 27 points last night, including 11 in the fourth quarter, but nope. Could not get the win versus the Pelicans after Luka left the game in the third with a thigh injury. Shannon, what does this tell you?
Tell me they lost to a better team. They let the team shoot 51% from the floor, 48% from the three-point line, while they shot 43% from the floor and 35% from the three-point line. That's what it tells me. They're still not playing defense.
All right, but Kyrie has been Mr. Fourth Quarter, and he was pretty good last night with 11, and C.J. McCollum went crazy and made all 4 threes and scored 16, and that was that.
So, in other words, they're not playing defense again, huh?
No.
CJ had lightning coming out of his fingers. Guys, we're out of time. Thanks for watching. St. John's versus Marquette is next. All right, Skip's Clippers got a 108-100 win over the Raptors last night. Kawhi Leonard had 24 points. Paul George added 23. The Clippers moved 2 games above the 500 mark. Shannon, you first before Skip jumps in. Do the Clippers look like a team that could win the West?
No. I mean, could they? Sure. With all these injuries keep popping up, they seem to be one of the healthier teams. Kawhi missed the better part of the season. Now he's come back. He's playing every game. Paul George, I mean, he was out a couple of games ago, but he seems to be he's playing really well. And they seem to be healthy. Like it's, the healthiest team is probably going to be the team that win. Skip, Russ didn't play the last 5 minutes of the third quarter, none of the fourth quarter. Terrence Mann and Eric Gordon manned the point guard down the stretch. They look really well. Terrence Mann is really, really active. The Clippers held Toronto to 37 of 96 shooting. This is the first time since November 27th that the Clippers have held a team under 40%. See, their problem isn't offense. Their problem is defense. And last night, they got back to their identity, what T. Lue wanted them to be, which is a very, very good defensive team. And then the offense, you got guys that can put the ball in the basket. You got Kawhi. You got Paul George. You got guys that can score. Now you got to prevent the other team from scoring. But I still don't believe they can win.
Okay, last night was fascinating to me because of what happened to the cloud that lifted off the Lakers that now hovers over the Clippers.
What happened or what didn't happen?
The human cloud, Russell Westbrook. Okay, so we start off the game, home game against Toronto, game you should win against Toronto. What is Toronto now? They're 32-35 after they lost. So they're 32-34 coming in. And if we could see what happened early in the game as the Clippers fell quickly behind the Raptors at home, this is Russell Westbrook. Russ, be careful. Just be careful. Whoops. Nope. Van Vliet got him, snaked him from behind, and here goes Russ again, and Van Vliet just takes it right away from him on the break. Hell-bent for the basket is Russell Westbrook. And what happened at that point, at that flash point in the game, Ty Lue said, I have seen enough. Russ, come sit over here next to me. Except he's not going to sit next to Ty. He's going to go on down the bench. So 6:15 remaining in the first quarter. Russell is yanked. In a subsequent sideline huddle in that first quarter, ESPN reported that Kawhi went off in the huddle and was very vocal, yelling about, we have to take care of the basketball. Then Ty Lue, between quarters interview, going from the third quarter to the fourth quarter, the first thing out of his mouth was, all that matters is we have to take care of the basketball. It is the way to win basketball games. If you just hold on to the basketball and make sure you don't give it to the other team, you are dramatically going to increase your chances to win said basketball game. It's pretty simple.
Isn't that how it works in football?
It's exactly.
Baseball
it's always that. It's always that. Play clean. If you play clean, you give yourself a chance, at least a chance to make positive plays that win games. Russ, in turnovers per 36 minutes, is leading the league. I don't get him because he's got the worst hands on a point guard I have ever seen. And he's not turnover prone. He is turnover crazed. He's obsessed. That's
in his DNA.
It's in his DNA. But he's also going to make an occasional play. And he actually made a couple plays last night. So the good news was, he got yanked, he sat for a while, and then he went back in and played 17 more minutes and had only one more turnover. But to your point, Ty Lue solved his quote-unquote Westbrook problem by, he just said last 5 minutes of the third, all the way home in the fourth quarter, I'm just not going to play you, okay? It doesn't, it's pay me now, pay me later, because now you have to pay on the backside because Russ is not going to be happy with that. How many times, if we get Darvin on a lie detector, Darvin Ham on a lie detector, he'd tell you, I'm so relieved to be out from under Russ.
But Skip, why is he upset about T. Lue for taking him out of the game, but he's not upset about himself turning the ball over? There's a reason why we took you out. If you didn't turn the ball over at the rate you did, you could play more minutes. Your minutes are contingent on you not turning the ball over. Why can't Russ see that?
I don't know.
You're not owed, just because you've been an MVP, just because you're such an accomplished player, you're not owed anything because none of that on your resume helps us win the ball game if you're turning it over. That MVP does it, those 10 All-Star appearances does it, those All-NBA selection does it. The only thing that helps us win if you don't turn it over.
That is true. I don't know. I can't figure him out. I can't wrap my head around why so many people think he's so great, because I just checked his three-point shooting stats. He actually made 1 of 3 last night. Would you believe he's now sitting at 29.5% from three-point? That ranks 149th of 150 qualified in the league. It's horrendously bad. He can't make it up with his distance shooting, with his jump shooting, because he's a liability.
Right.
So he's a liability turning over. The one thing he does, he brings energy. He plays hard, and if you leave him in long enough, he'll come close to getting a triple-double because he just hustles. But he hustles more for Russ than for the team. He's more me than we. He is a solo act of a stat machine, and I don't know what possessed the Clippers to think we need that. It's like so many players. We had Eddie House on the other day, and he was defending Russ because all the players, the ex-players, they honor the fact that for 4 out of 5 years, he averaged a triple-double. It's impossibly great. He is a slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer. So the Clippers are saying, why wouldn't we want a first ballot Hall of Famer at point guard? Because we really don't have a point guard. Well, you still don't have a point guard.
Well, Skip, I mean, if I'm making fried chicken and somebody says, I got some chocolate for you, what the hell? Yeah, I like chocolate, but what the fuck I'm sorry. You got me up here cursing, Skip. Why would I need chocolate to go with fried chicken?
Okay, well, the fried chicken works by itself, right? It's really good.
You were working by yourself, Skip Bayless. So in other words, Skip, all this does is that, let me take this back. You guys are closer to expectations now with the way you played the last 3 games than you were when you first originally got Russ. So you should be happy with that. But the question is, in a playoff series, Russ is going to play. You know that, I know that.
He will.
So the question is, how much and when will he play? Is he going to play for you down the stretch? Now, last night he didn't play. You believe they won the game because he didn't play down the stretch.
I know they did. And Ty Lue knows they did, but whatever they're going to do today, I don't know if they're going to have a shoot-around or a practice or whatever. Next time he crosses paths with Russ, I promise you, Russ is not going to be happy.
Who?
And
Ty Lue?
Yes, he will.
But why would he not be? Skip, does he not see that he's turning the ball over?
Okay, but do you know how he was with Darvin?
Yeah, but I tell you what, the guy that's least happy that Russ is on this team is Kawhi.
Yep, I agree.
Kawhi did. I don't know how, but Kawhi did not. I feel very comfortable saying Kawhi did not want this move. Because Kawhi had an opportunity to join Russ. Kawhi had an opportunity to bring Russ before Paul George.
To join him. Yep, I agree.
And he basically said no to Russ and reached out to Paul George.
Okay. And those two right now are playing at a high enough level to win the West.
Yes.
But they're going to have to do it in spite of.
Because we know, Skip, we know what happened in that situation. Russ tried to get out of OKC.